Hi, Kathy here from kathyskutekreations. So today we're going to go ahead and we're going to do week 5 of Lilacia Love. And it is the assembly, and it will look like that. And so my sewing machine went to the shop today, and the young man tried to fix it while I was there, and he found out that one of the 2 sensors, and I didn't even know that there were 2 sensors, didn't know there were sensors at all, when you put the plate back on. So it registered the one sensor, but it would not register the other. So he played with it, he got it to work, but then he wanted to go ahead and make sure that it did work. So he ran it, he took it to the back and ran it with some fabric and stuff. I mean, I could see him from where I was at, and it quit on him. I heard it do what it does when it has an issue. So he goes, well, the bad news is it's gonna have to stay for a while. So then I went ahead and I brought out my Melanie, which is also a baby lock. And so it's gonna be a little bit different because it's been a while since I've used this machine. So it's getting back to using it, you know, try to get used to it from one to the other. Going from a, I'm not even gonna say it. A nice fancy one to a lower end one. But it's still baby lock, it still works. It just does not have all the features that my other one had. So I just figured out what my 1/4 inch is. It's the same thing as it was on the other one. And we're gonna start putting this together. I'm gonna lay out the pieces and show you what goes with what. I don't have enough room on my table, either one of these tables, to lay the whole thing out. But I will show you what we need to be doing, okay? And I'll show you how I'm gonna do it, and you can follow along. All right, let's get started. This is how I laid it out, and this is what I'm doing. So look at the paper here. I'm gonna do this row, and then I'm gonna do this row. Then I'm gonna set them aside. Okay, because that's row 1 and row 3. And on the picture, it shows that the green goes in this corner. So I put it at the corner. And across the top, start with purple, then purple, then purple. So I have the 3 right here. 1, 2, 3 with the purple. And then we go to the 4th picture. I mean, not the 4th picture, the 4th piece. The green comes downward. And that's exactly what I've done. Now, for the next one, and I'm looking right at the paper, the green now goes up. So the green is going up. And again, you start with the purple and the purple, which is right here. Purple, purple, purple. And then on the corner, right here, the green goes up. So the green goes up. So we're gonna put all that together. Now, if anything needs to be marked, we're going to mark it so we don't lose any tips whatsoever. Okay, so I did not realize until I started using this machine how dark it is around here. There is not enough light. I've even put this little light strip over here, but it doesn't put out light here. Now, I have a light downstairs in the living room, so when I go down there pretty soon, I'm gonna go ahead and grab that and bring it up here and see if I can put some light on the back part over there. I used to have a light, but I don't know what happened to it. I don't know if it eventually wore off and I got rid of it or what. But the reason my, let me back this up here. So the reason for the, I think, after I got finished putting piecing the quilt last week, when I went to clean it because it needed to be cleaned, I feel like I cleaned it too well, knocked my sensors off or something, or maybe it just was time for it to blow. I don't know. I don't know how long a sensor lasts or anything, but all right, let's go ahead and start on the next piece. Now, if you have to go and change your direction, like I have to change the direction on this one here, I'll show you when I get up to it. So I have to change the direction of this so that these 2 can snuggle, or nestle, however you want to say it, so that they'll lay flat. Just be mindful of it. When I started sewing a couple of projects ago, I couldn't find my pin cushion, the one that's a wool pin cushion. And I mean, I looked all over this place for it. And it had a metal bar, or not a metal bar, but a piece of metal that told where I got it from. Of course, you know, I couldn't remember where the heck I got it from, so I went to buy another one, and just so happened Missouri Star Quilt Company, I believe, had one, so I went ahead and I purchased another one. When I went to get this sewing machine out of the case, because I keep it in my case, the last time I had used this, I was at Becca's, and so, believe it or not, I had taken the wool pincushion and put it in that case. I had a pair of scissors, a couple different kinds of pair of scissors, all kinds of stuff. And that's what happens. You forget. I hadn't opened it since I'd come back because I haven't used my machine. So when I did these ends, and I had to start my recording over just a second ago when I first started. So what I did was I went ahead and I started right here where I marked it. So I marked it first, because it's got one place to be marked, and I went ahead and I sewed right where I needed to mark. Now this doesn't have an automatic lift on my foot here. I guess I could put my little attachment that came with it and do it. But anyway, I went through this first. I already lost my pen cushion, son of a gun. I put it over on the other side of the table. Okay. This first, and then I'm going to go ahead and go back and catch the rest. I'm going to go ahead and come off of this. But I didn't want to lose my tip. And you know, you can, which I haven't told you this, but whenever you start like I just did, and I wasn't like on the end of it, what you do is, let's say that that is smaller than your stitch, just by a little bit, like an eighth of an inch or something like that, or even less than that. But what you do is you just gradually come off of the spot that you just sewed as you make it a quarter of an inch. And if you do it gradually, you're not going to notice it. Okay? Now I'm going to go back to the other end, and I'm going to meet up with that end. Just like this. Just like that, and then just overlap it, and that's enough of a lock. If you feel like you got to lock it, then lock it. Go back 2 times, it's not going to hurt a thing. And that's it. Strip, we have 1 row done. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to sew these 3 together before I assemble it. So I'm going to put these 3 by themselves because they're part of this row 2. Okay, so I got that light. That's called a Stella. And it does help because it really lights up my bed. I tell you what, it's been one of those days where I cannot get cooled off. I have been hot all day. The only way to get cool is to stand right in front of that air conditioner, but that's just crazy, man. Now, sweat on my brow. And sewing is not an exertion. So I don't know what the problem is. I got up, had a shower, washed my hair. Had an appointment to get it cut. Anyway, I had to stop off at, at Walmart to get a loaf of bread, and I buy a 4-pack of Puffs Plus. I take a box to work for my desk because those Kleenex out of worker, they are rough, man. Oh my gosh. They make your nose raw immediately. And I was down to the heels on my bread, and oh gosh, I hate heels. And this was just a cheap loaf of bread anyway, so by the time I got to the bottom where the heels were at, they were practically falling apart. Couldn't make a sandwich out of it. Then I went and got my hair done and took my sewing machine in. Okay, so let me show you how I started this. All right, let me show you what I'm doing. All right, so this is what I'm making, these three here. But I want to make sure that this goes correctly with that one when I start out. So let me see if I can show you. So I took my fabric. First, this is the way it's going to lay. Purple's up here in this left-hand corner. And I took it this way. And then I turned it this way. And this is going to the right. Well, this is going to the right too, but I don't want it to. So it's going to go to the left. So I'm going to pin it so it nestles. And that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to go iron this to that direction. This one I don't have to worry about. So I'm going to go iron it to the left before I start putting it with this next one. Okay? So I've got it ironed down. And now I flipped it back over so I got right sides up. Now this one has to go with this one. So we flip it over here. And now I'm going to take a look. This is going that way and that's going that way. So that is correct. I'll connect these two and then I'll connect this one to that one. All right, now we're going to sew this. I didn't even put a pin in here, did I? And then we'll add the last one to it. And now what we're going to do is, I have to look at that pattern again because I'm not sure if I'm going to, I think I'm going to attach the ends to the flying geese. Not the flying geese on the square yet, that's the center. I'm going to take a look at it real quick first. I'm going to guess you could probably do it either way, but I'm trying to do it the easiest way for me, that I feel is the easiest way. Alright, so I'm going to put this together, which is the corner here, the flying geese, and the corner there. That's what I'm going to put together now, for the top and the bottom. Alrighty, so we're going to take this right here, and we're going to put one flying geese on each side. That's what I'm going to do first. Then when I have that, I'll attach this to the top, this to the bottom, and then we'll attach this to the side and this to the side, and that'll give us row 1, row 2, row 3, and then we'll put them all together. Now, if you guys watched my video the first week, and nobody made a comment about it, but I totally messed up that square. I just got done taking a break and redoing it. When I say redoing it, I didn't, believe it or not, I didn't make these squares. Okay, here's the square right here. I didn't cut them down to 9.5. I don't know what I was thinking. I got to looking at it and I thought, what is the matter with the, I was like, what is wrong with this picture? These things weren't even adding up. They weren't even getting in the middle. So I don't know what I was doing, what I was thinking, and nobody said anything, and I didn't notice it till I just now went to put these sides on, and this thing was almost an inch too big. And that's when I got to really looking at it and realize what I'd done. So now let's go ahead and we're going to put these on, and what you're going to do is you're going to make sure you do not take your tips off. So measure with your pen, and you can do it a couple things. You can either put the dot, I'm going to put it over here, put a dot in there. You can mark this right here so you see it and you know you'll come across the top of it and you won't lose your tip. Whatever you want to do. And then we'll go ahead and we'll sew the right and the left side together. Now we got these sides on, and we're going to put the top, and then we're going to put the bottom. So that's what you're going to do next. Make sure that you mark your tips so you don't lose them. Now the reason I'm not showing a lot of this sewing, and I don't want this video to be too long. That's why I'm showing and telling instead of showing and doing. Where you need to nestle something, go ahead and do that so that your fabric is matching up on both sides when it splits the colors. Well, I don't know when the last time I had this this sewing machine cleaned out, but I'm scared to do it. I fear I'm going to quit with my projects here because I'd have to bring up my old Singer. I can't bring up the thing that's in the case already, not that one, but the little black one. I'd be up here sewing with that thing. That's the only disadvantage of the new advanced sewing machines is they can wear themselves out. My the one I started with that I brought up here when I moved here is a FWFS. Oh my gosh, I love it. It was my first electronic sewing machine, and it's over oh my gosh, I think it's well over 20 years old now, and I have replaced that motherboard I think 2 or 3 times. And they don't have brand new motherboards, they're used ones, so they're refurbished. And I don't even think that after I got it replaced that the second one, the very first one that I had replaced, the second motherboard, I don't think it even lasted a year, and it went out again. So I don't even sew on it more than 4 hours. So I don't know if I'm heating it up or what I'm doing to it. And I loved it. That's the and I think the Verdina too, but I'm not sure. But they have their walking foot is this black thing that sits right here. You engage it or disengage it on the foot itself here, so it doesn't have a separate walking foot. That's what I liked about it so well. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and flip this over and do the other side. Y'all do it too. Let's see where we're at. So here's where we're at. We have this all done. And now we're going to put the sides on so that we'll have this row done, this one, and this one. So we're going to put the right side and the left side, and the purple goes up in the right-hand corner and the right-hand corner. So that's the way I have it laid out right here. And then I will mark right here so I don't lose my tip on both ends of that. All right, here's where we're at. We have all of this done. And we're going to connect this top row, and then we're going to connect the bottom row. So let's not lose any of our points. Right there's a point, and right there. Okay. All right, so I'm looking at this corner right here. Whoops, I got mine. There we go. And my fabric has to go this way in order to nestle with this one. So the way that I mark it is I take my pen and my ruler, and here is where I do not want to go below, and I go beyond when I mark it, both directions. And then I'm going to fold this. Well, heavens to Bessie, it didn't make a mark. Over here it didn't. There we go. So then you fold this. And you mark from that side to this side with your pen. And then you'll have this pen down and you'll sew over this. And then you won't take your tip. And that's what I'm going to do on both of them. Okay, this is the best I can do because I don't have enough room anymore in my living room. Hopefully you can see it. And in the next couple of months, I'm going to try to put a design wall as soon as I get things rearranged, so I can show all my quilts up there. Hope you liked it. So I'm back to talk a little bit because I want to talk about the very next Fort Worth Fabric Studios whatever it's going to be. I don't know what it's going to be. But this is where you're going to tell me whether you want it or not. I'm just adding it to the end of this video, along with giving me a like or a comment about this video. Go ahead and tell me if you would like the very next, and I don't know which one it is. I don't know if it's a Halloween or if there's one before Halloween. So just tell me you want the kit for the Fort Worth Fabric Studios, the very next one after Lilacia Love Quilt, and then I will know that you want it. And I appreciate you following me to the very tail end of my video. And so I wanted to say again that sorry about the way I had to hold that up, but Megan is not here. She's at work. She works nights now. Sometimes she does days, but mostly she likes the nights. And my daughter probably, I don't even know what time it is, but she's probably in bed because she works nights and days and all kinds of stuff, hours and whatnot. But anyway, I held it up the best I could. I had my tripod set up, but I don't have a lot of room because I have a bed set up down there in my living room right now for my granddaughter. For the time being, because it's too hot up here, upstairs. I don't have any air conditioner except right here in my sewing room. You can tell what's important upstairs. Nothing else is important but my sewing room. So it's hot in the other rooms. Although there's a bed in it, it's too hot to sleep in it. So anyway, so we're downstairs, and so it's just too much stuff, but we're going to get that cleaned up, and I'm going to break down her bed. She's fixing to get her own place now, so she's growing up, and then I'm going to have more space. I'm going to rearrange my living room, and I want to take my whole blank wall that's back there where my chair goes, and I want to make that into my design board. And I'll probably do like I did up here. See the one on that wall? Well, right there, that wall. Okay, so that's one of those thorns. What's her name? Fran? Is it Fran? No, it's not Fran. Well, I can't think of her name. The two ladies that did, they don't do it now, they're retired, the quilting. Oh, Fons and Porter, that's who it is. That's their type of design board, and it takes up that whole wall area. And I have it up there with those command hooks. So that's what I'm going to do down in my living room, so that I can put up great big huge quilts, because I just don't have the room in here. I have stuff piled up on the floor back here that I can't even get to that wall, and that's the problem. And that is the biggest one that I've got. So until then, if you like this video, give me a thumbs up, a comment. If you haven't subscribed yet, it doesn't cost you anything to subscribe. You can subscribe, it's free. I don't charge for any of my videos. I have no little side perks that you pay monthly for and all that. I don't want to do any of that stuff. I don't want to go that route. I'm strictly in this for fun, okay? Nothing else. I don't have a store. Right now, I do not even have the capability to put stuff on my Facebook or Instagram or even my website, because my computer is too old and it only does so much stuff. Until I've saved up enough money to buy a new computer, then I'll put a bunch of stuff up that I've done and completed that I got laying around here. Okay, so that's it for now, but let me know whether you want the kit, the next one for the Fort Worth Fabric Studios, and we'll have a drawing, and then from there we'll be ready to mail it out as soon as I get it, so you can have it and start with us when we get started on it. Okay, and you'll know the announcement, because if you've joined the Facebook for the Fort Worth Fabric Studios, you know when their announcements go out, which ones are next and all that, so you'll be quite ahead of the game. All right, so thanks for watching, everybody, and welcome everybody that's new, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.